Parenting Lessons from Genesis for Modern Families. Isaac and Rebekah. Genesis is one of our favorite books. It's a profound exploration of human nature, of good and evil, and the relationship between man and God. Through its narratives, Genesis delves into the complexities of human choices, from Adam and Eve's decision in the garden to Joseph's journey of resilience and forgiveness, and God's covenant with Noah. Moreover, Genesis establishes the lineage of patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It also provides some excellent parenting advice. And no, we're not alluding to the Cain and Abel story, but rather the story of Isaac and Rebekah. The story of Isaac and Rebekah offers a nuanced portrayal of modern family dynamics, marked by love, favoritism, and the challenges of raising children with conflicting paths. Far from being a distant biblical account, their narrative delves into universal themes that still resonate today. By examining Isaac and Rebekah's decisions and the resulting tensions between their sons, Jacob and Esau, and the lasting effects of parental partiality, we can uncover valuable insights for modern families striving to navigate the complexities of parenting. Isaac and Rebekah's family dynamics. Favoritism is a tale as old as time. Modern psychology agrees that parental favoritism can have serious effects on children. Studies show that favored children often feel entitled, while the overlooked siblings may struggle with self-esteem and resentment. Ancient family strife. Isaac and Rebekah were far from a perfect couple. Chosen by God to continue the lineage of Abraham, their story unfolds in Genesis. Like many families, they faced challenges in raising their twin sons, Esau and Jacob. But their parenting choices, particularly their favoritism, led to years of family trouble. Genesis tells us Isaac loved Esau because he shared his father's passions, but Rebekah favored Jacob. Indeed, Isaac admired Esau's rugged masculinity and skills as a hunter, and his place as heir, because he was the firstborn of the twins. Meanwhile, Rebekah cherished Jacob's quiet, contemplative nature, which kept him close to her. This split would have lasting consequences. From the outset, this favoritism created division within the family. The impact of favoritism. When parents favor a child, does this sound familiar? It's the modern equivalent of celebrating one child's football wins while disregarding another's musical talents. Such imbalances can plant seeds of division in a family, just as it did with Esau and Jacob. Manipulation in the family. Favoritism in Isaac and Rebekah's family didn't just cause rivalry, it also led to manipulation. In Genesis 27, Rebekah orchestrates a plan for Jacob to deceive his father and steal Esau's blessing, which would put Jacob in the line of patriarchs. By disguising Jacob in Esau's clothes, she exploits Isaac's blindness to achieve her goal. Rebekah's parenting deception is a lack of trust in God's plan. Rebekah had even received a prophecy that Jacob would inherit the blessing, yet she chose deception instead of waiting for God to fulfill his promise. This teaches us a crucial lesson. Manipulation and deceit fracture trust within families. In modern families, manipulation might look like one parent undermining the other's authority. Through scheming, creating confusion and division, a parent might sabotage their spouse's authority by secretly siding with a favorite child. Just as Jacob and Esau were caught in their parents' divided loyalties, today's children can struggle when parents fail to present a unified front. In other words, if one child is favored, the other won't know where he stands. A child can carry this insecurity throughout his or her life. Identifying with a particular child is normal. However, the problem occurs when that identification becomes action through favoritism. The fallout of parenting choices. Truth or consequences. The immediate consequence of Rebekah's favoritism and manipulation was catastrophic. Esau vowed to kill Jacob for stealing his birthright, forcing Jacob to flee to another land, and the brothers' relationship remained fractured for years. Even when Jacob and Esau reconciled, years later, the damage lingered. Their story serves as a warning about how unchecked favoritism and deceit can lead to estrangement, not just for a moment, but for generations. Consider modern families, where siblings become estranged over inheritance conflicts. Those scenarios often stem from years of favoritism or unresolved tensions, echoes of the same issues we see with Isaac and Rebekah. It happens all the time. Also, in Genesis 25, Esau trades his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of lentil stew. While Esau's impulsiveness is clear, we also see a deeper issue, parenting that failed to instill discernment in him. Isaac's favoritism and Rebekah's lack of maternal love may have contributed to Esau's prioritizing immediate gratification over his future. Gender favoritism. As a side note, sometimes modern parents favor gender. This can have the same problematic outcome. The real problem is that parents focus on an idea that the boys have higher value than do girls, while forgetting that we are all equal in the eyes of God. Lessons from modern parents. So what can we learn from Isaac and Rebekah's story? Here are 5 key takeaways for modern parents. Favoritism boomerangs to punish the parents. Efforts to control outcomes often backfire on the parents, bringing heartbreak instead of security. Rebekah's plan to ensure Jacob receives the blessing succeeds, but at a great personal cost. Jacob flees for his life, and Rebekah never sees her favorite son again. And Isaac's attempt to bless Esau are thwarted, leaving him powerless to reverse the consequences. It's almost like a Greek tragedy, except it's much older and much more important. Important because that story repeats itself today over and over and over. Avoid favoritism. Favoritism breeds resentment. Celebrate each child's unique talents and avoid comparisons. Just as Jacob and Esau's rivalry stem from unequal treatment, modern families can avoid conflict by fostering a sense of fairness. Christian counseling tells us that even modern parents can become fixated on what they expect a child to become, rather than who the child is meant to become in God's plan. Trust in God's plan. Rebekah's mistake was taking matters into her own hands rather than trusting God's promise. Parenting often requires patience and faith that God's plan will unfold in His time. Parenting choices that help the child love more, be more authentic, and be free to grow into the person God dreamt him to be are the best choices. Present a united front. Isaac and Rebekah's divided loyalties undermined their family stability. Modern parents should aim to communicate and collaborate, ensuring their children feel supported by both parents. The final word is God's. The story of Isaac and Rebekah reminds us that no family is perfect. Despite their flaws, God used them to fulfill His covenant with Abraham, proving that He can work through our imperfections, our schemes, our favoritism, our manipulations to accomplish His purposes. Isaac and Rebekah's story is more than ancient history. It's a mirror reflecting our own struggles and opportunities for growth. Let their lessons inspire you to create a home filled with fairness, trust, and faith.